Welcome back to the YouTube, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Thursday. It is the 22nd of January. So, with that being said, before we get into the daily market outlook, I just want to make sure that you guys know that the content on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing shared in my videos should be considered financial, trading, or investment advice. Understand that trading and investing involves risk, and you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. Also, any past performances discussed on these videos does not guarantee future results. You are always responsible for your own financial decisions. So, let's get straight into the charts. And as you guys can see, Thursday the 22nd, we have some heavy US dollar news later this afternoon around 2:30 my time. So something to keep an eye out. We've got the core price index, final GDP as well. So that is something to keep an eye on. So yeah, obviously Thursday, some red folder news, New Zealand dollar news, red folder as well, CPI, which is at 10:45 my time. Now, going into the charts, let's see what is going on today. Looking at this from a 4 hour, nothing's changed at all. You can see that we still had that forward change in this daily demand. But if you look from here, you can just see we have literally, this is 4 hour candles. You've had one, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 4 hour candles. I am not good at math, so let's do 13 times by 4. Some of you guys like saying a number straight away. So 13 times by 4, 52 hours just going sideways. So yeah, you guys probably can get the gist of what I'm thinking. I don't know. And that's just me being truly honest. I need to see a break or something for us to participate. Now, the only thing I can give you guys at the moment in time is we obviously have tapped back into this 4 hour supply and now into the 1 hour supply. So we go to the one, you can see that we've tapped into that supply area. We're still in this range for me here, so I'm prioritizing shorts at this moment in time. And yeah, man, obviously you guys can see the exact same as me, just sideways movement. We're tapped now into the supply. Yeah, it's been pretty ugly to be fair to you. We're in this level of supply at this moment in time. So the only thing that I could potentially wait for is, let's say that we get another break of, let's say, this low, and then you can probably, if you want, if it's clear, look for shorts on the dollar that way. Um, that's pretty much all I can talk about in regards to the US dollar. Obviously, as you guys could probably notice, compared to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was expecting something to happen yesterday. I was expecting us to, especially even here, for instance, if we broke this down, I was expecting the market to then carry on downwards for the US dollar. But we just haven't had that. We haven't had that at all. So that's what we're waiting for at this moment in time. Leads me on to Euro USD. Now, Euro USD, you can see we talked about these demand areas here yesterday, which we expect the market to come back into. We're currently in this one at this moment in time. This still is my favorable one, but there's no saying that this couldn't be the one that goes and carries this, on upwards. So, with that being said, if you look at the 1 hour, you can see that the market has, clearly tapped into this 1 hour demand, and we're now in this 1 hour supply at this moment in time. Now, if the dollar for me is predominantly, I'm looking for seeing shorts, then of course it'd be vice versa, where we can see, longs on here. Euro USD yesterday, if you guys remember, I had a sell from here, which come back and hit me at break even, and obviously melted off. But it is what it is. So yesterday, break even on Euro USD from this 1 hour supply zone. So yeah, man, all I'm currently waiting for is for something to happen, for something to give. If we get a nice institutional candle push, that leaves a clear demand level, then we can obviously target the longs from there. Of course, vice versa would be if we, potentially break this low, you can look for shorts into this level of 4 hour demand. So let's wait and see what happens with Euro USD. Going into GBP USD, a little bit more nicer looking, as you guys can see. So what I mean by that is let's start off on the four. Let's start off on the four. You guys can see from a daily perspective, we're in this daily demand. We're expecting, can we see this push up? We took out the lows. Can we see a bullishness away? Going into the 4 hour, of course, we're still in this 4 hour range, but we just have failing to basically break this low. Now, if you go off the internal structure of here, you can see that the market has, shifted bullish, where you can see the market has give us that bullishness here. So yeah, what I would potentially be looking for is there's nothing clear as day here for me to look for demand why it pushed lower than these. But as of right now, if we drop down to the one, you can see that we're in this level of 1 hour demand. We broke above this high here. So I would be looking for GU longs around this area, around this area here. I'll be looking to see if we can get something from this 1 hour demand area, potentially to get a longs on GU. Can we see, a dip and then potentially target the highs that we have, which is here, all these highs here, and potentially this high here as well. So let's wait and see what that does today. And as you guys can currently see, we do have these descending highs here, which we can obviously target as liquidity. So yeah, let's see what happens in regards to that with GU. Going into NZUSD bullish, very different to EU and GU. Both AU and NU have been different. We haven't had a pullback into this area here. You can see that the market has basically, it's more than a 1 hour. Let's have a look. Has basically just didn't come into this lower point. We broke it then again above. Where did the market come into this area of demand here? And now we're bullish away from here as well. So looking at the four, naturally you can see, it is pretty uptrending. If you look at the 1 hour, everything seems pretty corrective as of right now. You can see that, we broke above from here. The first entry would have been this area here, which you can see the market pull back into, and that would have been a clean buying scenario, which would have targeted a 1 to 3 already. So that would have been a clean scenario for someone to participate in the buys. Now for me currently, yes, we still have this area here as a 1 hour, 2 hour demand that has imbalance, or where we're currently reacting from right now is this area here. This area here is where we're getting that, you can see we broke above, market pull back into this, filled in the imbalance, and now we're moving away. So as of right now, NZ is doing its thing, and we're potentially just having to wait and see if we can see it opening for that. But hopefully you guys can see the flow of the market is pretty nice at this moment in time. Bullish from here. 15 seconds left on his candle. Yeah, if let's have a look at the 30-15. Potentially, if the market was to carry on, you know, could we see the market dip into like this area here? Let's just zoom in. Potentially dip into like this 15-minute demand area here, and then, obviously carry on bullish from here. So can we see just a dip, fill in the imbalance, and then carry on bullish from here? Let's see. Let's see. Going into AUD/USD, we'll start off on the daily just to show you guys how bullish this has been. You guys can see that we have now officially had a new range. We broke above this previous daily higher high. So our new range is from this daily higher low, or you can go off this daily higher low here, to this daily higher high. Now, of course, as we always do, let's remove this. We can obviously look at a daily demand candle, which would be this one here, to see if the market can pull into as a deep retracement. But going into the four, what is the market telling us? The market has been pretty corrective. So, going off the 4 hour trend, what we can look out for is where is our next demand area? Our next demand area would be, around this area here, as our 4 hour demand. If you want to refine it, you can use the body, or if you want to do extreme, you can obviously use where the imbalance started. So that's where I'll be looking for, for AUD USD to potentially, go long in to carry on the next leg. If we have this scenario where the market, obviously comes down, we fail to, have demand in control to carry on, and we break below this low, I would be then looking to, short into that daily demand area because we still have imbalance here, um, a little imbalance here, obviously imbalance here, and then that could be the catapult to go and create that new daily higher high. So hopefully that makes sense. But as of right now, we focus on where the market is currently at, which is this area here. If we drop down to the one, I this is a big institutional candle that I cannot ignore. Even if, there is potential 1 hour demand areas here, I have to sit on my hands and wait for this 4 hour demand area to be met in order to participate. Personally. USD CAD, let's have a look. So USD CAD, you can see we're pretty much, we dip below this 4 hour demand area here. Let's have a look at the daily just quickly. Reacting out to this daily supply, we obviously get that bearishness away. Currently stuck in between this, daily demand area here, which is, around this 4 hour demand area here. If you look, this wick tapped into this imbalance pretty much here, which is why it come lower, tapped into the imbalance, took out this low, and then obviously went a bit bullish. We have failed at the moment to break above this high. If we would have had a candle closure above this high, for instance, and then you could have obviously looked for the longs. But what we've done is the same scenario here, we've done here. We have obviously some of you guys and potentially even me, you would have this level here as a 4 hour supply, which is valid, but you guys can see obviously if I was mark this out from here to this here, that that gap where the market is whipped into, where this 4 hour supply was, it's imbalance. That's why the market dipped above same scenario for here, and that's why it's come above this 4 hour supply, used this liquidity, filled an imbalance, tapped into this 4 hour supply, and then starting to obviously now move away. So if we drop down to the one, can we see anything significant that we can look for? Well, if we're going to carry on bearish, the last 1 hour candle, as you guys can see, would have been from here, which we came back into, we tapped into, and then obviously now slowly moving away. So, for me personally, in fact, let me move this, let me move this. So for me personally, I would be looking to potentially see if we could target, the lows here on USD CAD. If we drop down to the 15 or the 30, can we see anything significant as of right now? No, if you guys want to, what you can wait for is, a break of this low, candle closure below this low, and then you can look to short this area. Um, because then you have obviously everything aligned structure wise. So that is it for USD CAD. Let's see if we can get this break and then look for potential 1 hour supply area to short. USD CHF, we give out this, or I give out this area yesterday for you guys to obviously take a look at. Hopefully you guys, well, hopefully from your own analysis, managed to see this beauty of a trade, USD CHF, which you can see we had a 1 hour demand area here. Market obviously retraced back into this. It was actually 13.5 stop. And then obviously it went and did around a 1 to 5, I think it was. Yeah, a 1 to 5 from this area. So beauty of a little trade here that hopefully some of you guys caught. Now looking at this from a daily, what can we see? You can see that daily is, we wanted it to come into this daily supply area here, but we are reacting out of this area of supply here at this moment in time. Now, let's have a look on the 4 hour and see what's going on. You can see same scenario. This is for me. where the market is currently at, imbalance above. You can obviously mark out this whole leg if you wanted to, as a 4 hour supply, little imbalance, which you guys can see the market is tapped into here. So we're coming to this right now and we're slowly starting to move away. So we're now in that scenario where we're trapped between supply and demand. So obviously looking at this right now, if we look at the 1 hour, let's just remove these now that I've showed you guys. You can, pardon me, you can clearly see that 1 hour is bullish. 1 hour is bullish. And for me, if it was to go long, I'd be waiting to see how we react from this area here as our 1 hour demand or this area here. But one thing I can tell you, pardon me, is if the market, let me just remove that, if the market breaks this low, I wouldn't be surprised if I look for shorts and then see how it reacts at this demand because this 4 hour supply is naturally going to be stronger than a 1 hour, unless especially if we break this low down here. If we break this low, then we can obviously target the shorts, taking out these lows as liquidity and the rest of the lows as well. So that is my main thought. But as of right now, I'm needing to see what happens from here. Needing to see what happens from this 1 hour demand to make any decisions. But again, if we do break that and you guys manage to get in the shorts, then obviously you can wait to see how we react from here. If you feel like we're getting some bullishness and we have a change of trend, you can obviously then close out this trade for break even, small profits, whatever your rules are, and then potentially look for longs on here. Or if not, you just carry on holding until your trading plan is met with USD CHF. Now USD Japanese yen. Um, If you look at where we're currently at, we have now officially broken out of this consolidation part. We have gone, higher, which is a positive sign. So it'll be interesting to see what we get from USD Japanese yen as of today. The only thing I don't really like about USD Japanese yen is this imbalance below here. I wanted us to come lower into this demand, fill in more of this imbalance, and then, go. But we haven't quite had that. But looking at this scenario, if we focus on the fact that the market did retrace lower than the 50%, it did take liquidity, it did tap into imbalance, and that could be why the market is obviously now going bullish. So, looking at the potential right now for this, I'd be seeing how we react from this 4 hour demand area here. First and foremost, and then potentially looking if we get the right reaction to long, this area here. Again, let's have a look at USD Japanese yen to see if it aligns with that. Let's remove this. We've broke out of this area now where this 4 hour supply has held. So if we look at this scenario on the daily, you can see that now what's happened. We've now got a new daily low. Our new daily range. We've got this area as our new daily supply, daily lower high and new daily lower low. So everything's pretty corrective in here. What I'll be waiting for is, can we potentially see, let me move this now, if the market is going to give us some sort of retracement into this. I do like the look of this daily candle here. Let me show you this little area here. Um, I do like the look of this for the Japanese yen basket to, obviously carry on from here. Let me just have a look at what that daily supply looks like on the 4. Yeah, it's pretty much where this imbalance, has started. So it's not as clean, but let's see if the market come into this daily supply um, here and potentially get this away, which obviously would mean that could align potentially with, this demand area. But if we do drop lower, we do have this demand area here in which we could dip down into. So we could come lower into this and move away from here. And the reason we could do that is obviously for one, the Japanese yen basket, and also because if you look at the scenario with where's it gone? If you look at you can use these areas here as liquidity. All of these areas that we have, the low here. And then also if you look at the fact that we have imbalance still above this unmitigated 4 hour area. See that little gap there is where the market could use liquidity, take out the early buyers that are using this demand area, fill in this imbalance, and then potentially, long from this demand area on USD Japanese yen. So let's see what that has to hold for today and tomorrow and the rest of next week. So that is it for your major pairs. Cross pairs, I'm not going to go over today. I got hit out at breaking was on GU. Where's it gone? There we go. CHFJPY for 1 to 3 was a beauty yesterday. We didn't actually manage to talk about it, but hopefully some of you guys potentially did get it. You can see that I was expecting some of this imbalance to be filled. Market structure, you can see we created a higher low, failed to go and create a higher high, broke down into a new structure in the 1 hour, created a lower low, retracement into this 1 hour supply area. For a better risk to reward, I could have got it in here, which would have made, a big difference, but, I didn't. And we came into my 1 hour supply and then obviously melted away. Thankfully, obviously that was very lucky with the 1 to 3 here because market did retrace back up. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it from the cross bears. But that is it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys got some value on here. And as always, I hope you guys get the value. During the whole of these weeks and every single day that I'm doing these daily market outlook. So I do appreciate every single person that's tuning in. If you've got any questions, please feel free to fire them below in the comment section or reach out to me on my socials. Other than that, guys, have an amazing rest of your Thursday. Take care. God bless.